Okay, starting off this video with some photos because I completely spaced on filming an intro before I started on the trip. It was on April 24th, and the plan was for an overnight up to the Olympic Hot Springs, which was part bike, part hike, and all uphill. It started with an 8.3-mile grind, gaining over 2,000 feet. Most of the road was straightforward, but the bypass trail that skirts around a washed out road was rough. That section steep, rocky, rooty, and not something I was comfortable riding on my cyclocross bike with a fully loaded overnight pack on my back. I ended up pushing the bike the whole way, but midway through the hike up that cutoff trail, I ran into another really friendly cyclist who was doing a day trip as part of his ride along the Olympic Discovery Trail. So having a brother in arms to share the experience with made the hike a bike go a bit faster. I also randomly happened upon his YouTube video of the trip, where I co-star for a bit as his buddy Dave. So I will leave a link to his video below if you want to see it from his perspective. After the cutoff trail, it turns into a paved road, which allowed us to ride the rest of the way. We stopped at the Glines Canyon Overlook, where a dam was removed back in 2014. But after that, it got pretty steep. I stopped to filter water, but my biking buddy kept going, and I never caught back up with him. I think I was setting up camp while he was at the hot springs, so we never crossed paths again. Once I finally reached the hot springs trailhead, I locked up the bike and switched into hiking mode. From there, it was a much easier 2.5-mile walk to camp with only about 200 feet of elevation gain. Found a great campsite with a view of the valley and snow-capped mountains beyond. Got the tent set up and then headed straight down to the hot springs for a well-earned soak. I hung out there for about an hour, sipping whiskey before heading back to camp for dinner and an evening cigar. If I had to do it over again, I would have taken my heavier bike that has a wider gear range so I wouldn't have had to grind all the way up that hill. But definitely a great early season option to kick off backpacking. I'll also include a link below to my WTA trip report and a GPX file of the faux route if you want to check out the details or follow the same path. All right, I think I'm about a half mile in, and I rode my bike along the road, and now I'm on the cutoff trail, and it's pretty steep, as you can see here. So, pushing the bike, especially with a big old backpack on. Okay, I think I'm getting close to the hot springs. I can maybe smell them a little bit. Looks like there might have been a bridge here or something. Some concrete up there. There's the river. Keep going and go find camp. Just got to camp and set it up. Got a pretty cool site with a great view. Like a table and a chair over here. And if you come over here, see a snow peak mountain in the distance. I think sunset's gonna be pretty cool from this angle. I got the tent set up right there. Backpack ready to go down to the hot springs, so off I go. All right, crossing the river. I can definitely smell the sulfur from the hot springs, so I gotta be close. There's a fine layer of muck on the bottom, but the water is pretty cool, or sorry, clear when it settles down. It's definitely pretty cool. You can see half the moon over there. Just finished soaking my feet in this pool here. It looks like almost all of them kind of overflow and then just run downhill into the river down there. There's another slow right over there coming up. See the steam? I'm gonna head back up that way and see it camp. Show you one more here. I almost chose this one, but it looked a little more mucky to me. It was a little hotter though. Got back to the Glines Canyon Dam. It was removed in 2014, I believe. I think if you look right there, those are the mountains I can see from my campsite, I believe. Because the campground is up there somewhere. It's pretty amazing how quickly nature has begun to take back what was once the lake back here. You can kind of see it with the new growth compared to the trees that were there before. And it's a pretty long way down.